Welcome to another episode of the A-List Movie Club. I am your host, the game changer, Wes Truth. And with me, as always, are Dominic and John. How's it going tonight, guys?
Good.
Good.
All right. And we're recording this on Dominic's birthday, by the way, so happy birthday.
Well, I'm doing this under protest.
All right. And this is the show, of course, where each week one of us picks a movie and we share it with the others. So, John, this time it was your turn to pick. So tell us a little bit about what film we're looking at this week.
Well, I guess technically it was my son's turn to pick. So.
Yeah.
Like I said last time, I was going through movies and asking my son, Mom, have you seen this? Have you seen that? And she said no. And I said, oh, Mr. Brooks is good. You should watch it. And for some reason, my son remembered that. That was months ago. So he asked if he could pick out my movie this week. So he picked out Mr. Brooks. So
Earl Brooks, a wealthy and respected businessman with a wife and daughter who lives a secret double life as a serial killer known as the Thumbprint Killer. While he's tried to keep his addiction under control a few years, he goes out and kills again. Unfortunately for him, the murder is caught by a neighbor across the street who has proof. The neighbor, calling himself Mr. Smith, holds the pictures over Brooks' head for something interesting in return. So it was directed by Bruce A. Evans, who directed this and one other film back in 1992.
And then he was murdered by the Directors Guild.
And this film was released on June 1st, 2007. I really don't remember it coming out in theaters. That was the year of Spider-Man 3, I think, was the big box office hit that year. So I guess we're trying to erase that year from our brain.
Now, I batted this movie around the past 45 minutes since we've seen it. I batted it around in my head. I really like the premise of it. And Kevin Costner is a great actor. And I love the fact that William Hurt played his alter ego, kind of like split personality dude that you that no one else sees but him.
yeah,
I thought that was really good. Boy, this movie turned into a mess. It really did. There are so many plot lines in this movie. I was half expecting a hobbit to run through the thing looking for a ring. I mean, it went off into so many different tangents. And I don't really know why, because I think the original part of it would have been really good on its own. I didn't think they had to go off into all these bizarre bullshit things. I thought, other than Kevin Costner and what's it, William Hurt? Was that who it was?
Yeah.
I thought the acting was horrible. I mean, Demi Moore, they should take her Screen Actors Guild card away. I mean, they really should. She was horrible.
You didn't even know it was her at first. You go, who is that?
And Dane Cook, I don't know. There's something about Dane Cook. Every time I see him, I just want to punch him in the face. I really do. He's
well, he hasn't worked in many years, so that I know of.
I like his stand-up. I think he's funny.
Well, I don't know. I haven't watched too much stand-up of him because I can't stand his face. But I don't know. I really wish they would have narrowed the scope of the movie a little bit more. Maybe just make it about the serial killer and the guy who sees them. And then just like I liked how that storyline developed with the two of them, but I think they should have just had the cops looking for them. I didn't think they had to throw in this and this and this and this. I don't want to ruin the movie. I can ruin the movie for everybody.
Spoiler alert!
Spoiler alert.
I mean,
a separate random serial killer escapes and is going
That's not too bad.
and goes after Demi Moore's character, who is in the middle of a bitter divorce and trying to save money. And oh, by the way, Kevin Costner.
She only had $35 million.
Oh, and Kevin Costner's daughter, out of nowhere, comes up and comes home from college, and she's a murderer too.
Okay, now that's a big spoiler, but whatever.
And Jesus Christ, I mean, I kind of thought it was cool how he kind of tied everything up. The ending was very good. I liked the ending. I don't know. I think it just I think by them trying to do so many different storylines, I think it took away from what could have been a really, really, really good movie. As long as they would have changed the cast around and recast Demi Moore and Dane Cook. Dane Cook wasn't absolutely horrible in this. He really wasn't.
I think it's the best acting I've seen out of him.
Well, that's not saying much. But
that's what I mean. Good luck, Chuck, Employee of the Month, my best friend's girl. It's like all the same character.
And Demi Moore was just atrocious acting in this movie. And one other thing is the script.
Screwed my cousin.
Yeah, and I think there were some just god awful lines in this movie.
Wow. I can tell you really liked it.
No, I'll tell you what, John, there was a lot about it that I really, really liked. You know, and I'm not going to give it a terrible review. I would recommend it for people to watch. I really would, just for the kind of it was a good. I think it was kind of an original idea. I think it just went off in too many directions. I think if they would have kept it with just Costner, Dane Cook, and Demi Moore, and Demi Moore trying to find them without going all off into all these other things, I think it would have been much better. I think they could have absolutely cut out the second serial killer. I think that should have been gone, and not has done as much with Demi Moore's divorce stuff. And then the out of left field, let's make Kevin Costner's daughter a serial killer too. You know, that I think was kind of like one of these type of moments, you know, for me. But otherwise, I like I said, Costner and Hurt were great in this movie, and I thought they played off each other really well.
Yeah. I like I agree with you, Dominic. I think there is a really good movie in here somewhere. If they just would have kept it like a cop versus serial killer thriller kind of movie, kind of like Seven, like that. Just focus.
Right.
Yeah.
We didn't need the Demi Moore's personal life. It doesn't add to the movie at all. That what the point of it is. I mean, I guess it kind of does, but you could have done without that.
John, let me interrupt you just a second. I really liked at the end when he called her on that phone that he stole. I liked that. Tell me why you became a cop, you know, and everything like that. I thought that was really well done.
Yeah. I like the stuff he does, like his hands in a baggie and he like zip ties it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So the shell casing stay in the bag. You know, I like all that little, like when he comes home and he puts his boots on that plastic and his clothes and he wraps up and incinerates it. Like I liked all that little stuff he did.
Right.
I was getting a Dexter vibe.
Exactly. Yeah, I have that written right here.
Yeah. The first time I saw the movie, I didn't think of that because I hadn't seen Dexter yet. But
right.
Now I'm like, oh yeah, like I can totally see it. Normal
Yeah.
life, serial killer. Dexter had his dad talking to him. This guy's got whatever Marshall
Exactly.
Williams. Yeah,
Mhm.
and it's fine for Dexter to have these little subplots because it's a show.
Exactly.
They can
Mhm.
drag it out. Like if this
Right.
was a series, Mr. Brooks, then fine, let's go into Demi Moore's personal life and her past, and go on to Dane Cook and all that. Like it's fine if you're filling out 15 episodes or whatever. But for a 2-hour movie, yeah, it's too many subplots. So yeah, I agree with you, Dom. If it just would have been focused on the thriller part of it,
This could have been a great movie. I mean, this, and it kind of disappoints me because it had so much potential. It had two excellent actors in it, and it had the makings of being very, very good. And that's what kind of pisses me off a little bit, is they didn't have to do all this extra shit.
yeah. And I'm not saying this because I don't think cop girls can be cops. I'm saying Demi Moore is a cop. I didn't buy it 1 minute. Her acting sucked. She didn't seem believable.
And then she's supposedly this tough, tough, tough. She beats up that one cop.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
Now, Dexter's sister, going back to Dexter, I believe, is a cop.
yeah.
Deb. Yeah, she was great. Yeah, but not
Yeah.
Demi Moore.
I don't know that just because Demi Moore's never played a cop before, so it's sort of unusual for her. But I wasn't buying her as a cop. If she'd have
Yeah.
been like a reporter, I might have been okay. That's a little better. And now Emma Costner's wife is sort of wasted. She doesn't do much.
She's in like 2 scenes.
Did you notice who she was?
Yeah, she was CSI.
The first CSI, Mark Helgenberger.
Oh,
Yeah.
I knew she looked
Yeah.
familiar.
She played Catherine Willows.
Yep.
Yeah, oh, yeah, she's really good, but she had nothing to do in this movie.
Yeah, I kind of expected her to be killed by the daughter. The way this movie was going.
Yeah. I know what you're saying now. If they would have just edited it a little better and cut it out, much better movie.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I wasn't like,
Yeah, see now now that I think about it, I'm more disappointed than anything else. It's not a horrible movie.
Yeah.
By all means, it's not a horrible movie.
No, it's not
But
unwatchable.
It could have been so much better.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's not Howard the Duck bad.
No.
That's the standard we have for bad Howard the Duck.
Or it's not Ryan Gosling bad either.
I was thinking say Tyler Perry, but okay.
I was going to say Dane Cook is no Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
Well, that could have been a better casting choice, but yeah, you guys seem like you read my notes here. Definitely, I feel a lot the same way. At first, I wasn't sure if I liked Mr. Brooks talking to his conscience or imaginary friend or whatever you want to call him in the car, or wherever. The character of Marshall, but I thought it ended up being one of the better things in the movie. Actually, I thought it was an interesting idea, but just way too many subplots. While the storylines did connect, I just think some of it could have been left out, especially the serial killers on the loose. That just felt shoehorned in, especially because like now this serial killer has someone he's teaching, and it's like, what? Where did this come from? Or whatever that girl was supposed to be, his daughter? I don't even know.
Yeah. Girlfriend? I don't know who she was.
Yeah.
She never had a name.
No, we were watching it and we go, now who the hell is that in the car? I don't know. Yeah, but they really just don't have a reason to be there. Random stuff just keeps happening in this movie where it just piles up. And I certainly did not expect there to be an abortion conversation in this movie, and how awkward it was. One of the most awkward conversations I've seen on film. When they're like, oh, okay, so maybe I will have it. I don't know. Well, great. I'm like, whoa, okay. But going into
Perry,
that,
Mr. Brooks. Tyler Perry's Mr. Brooks.
yeah. There's some cringeworthy dialogue going into there, some twists that do and don't work. I thought Costner and Hurt give good performances, but a lot of the supporting cast is pretty wooden. And the guy that plays Demi Moore's ex-husband has a really weird voice. Not that he's in a whole lot, but I was like, who the hell is that guy?
He's also like half her age.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, whatever. I could picture him as a serial killer. But yeah, that's pretty much, I agree with you guys, both of you guys on that, most of the movie there.
They wrote the part of Mr. Brooks for Kevin Costner. He wanted no one else to play it but him.
Wow.
I could see that.
And he was good. I like Kevin Costner. He was good.
Oh, yeah.
William Hurt took the role because he thought it was hilarious. The idea of someone going to an AA meeting to cure their homicidal.
Yeah.
He just thought that was hilarious. He's like, oh, yeah, I'm doing this movie.
You know, Costner gets a bad rap for some of the truly horrible movies he's been in. You know, like The Postman and Waterworld. But he is a very good actor.
Like the knock on him was that he was on a hot streak, and then he did Waterworld, which just killed his momentum. And then The Postman the next year put the nail in the coffin.
Well, I'll tell you what, he was great as Jonathan Kent in The Man of Steel.
Yeah,
I thought he was great as Jonathan Kent.
I like that now that he's a little older, he sort of decided not to carry a movie anymore. He's good in that kind of role. Like
right.
Use his name for what it's worth, but he can't carry a movie anymore.
Right.
My favorite Kevin Costner movie is A Perfect World. If you guys have ever seen that, that's good.
No, I don't.
Oh, it's a good movie.
Favorite Kevin Costner movie is The Big Chill.
Oh yeah. Wait.
You know who?
I would have thought Silverado.
Huh?
He's the dead body, isn't he?
Yeah, he's the dead body.
Yeah. All you see is his arm.
I thought Silverado was your thing.
Oh yeah, Silverado. That's just a great. Oh, what a movie.
This was supposed to be a trilogy. I guess this didn't do so well, so he decided not to do that.
I don't even remember it coming out in theaters, honestly.
Yeah, I kind of flew under the radar. I think I only bought it because of the cast.
Yeah.
Like later we go. Zach Braff was originally cast as Mr. Smith. You know who that is?
Yeah, from Scrubs.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could see that.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Costner wanted Yui Bowl to direct it. He's directed House of the Dead and video game shit horror movies. And he said he would do it if Kevin Costner agreed to do In the Name of the King, a Dungeon Siege. And they both went, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a spoiler. I don't want to give it away, but
I think we gave away basically the whole movie.
The scene at the end with his daughter was the original ending.
Oh, okay.
When a test audiences didn't like it, so they added that other part at the end. Because the second movie in the trilogy was going to be her, Ms. Brooks.
Oh.
She was going to take over for her dad.
And what was the third one? Baby Brooks?
I don't know. The last one, during the shootout, remember that between that other serial killer, Demi Moore?
Right. With the disco music and strobe lights.
Yeah. They had the lights rigged to flash when they shot the gun. So they said that essentially the actors lighted their own scene.
Hmm.
Oh, that's good.
They had it sort of rigged. I guess they couldn't fit anybody else in that tiny ass hallway. They had it rigged every time they pulled the gun, it would flash. So the actors sort of did themselves. Whatever that's worth. Yeah, that's all I got. It's not much on this movie because no one cares.
John, you picked it. You go with your rating first.
I've been debating it too. I watched this Monday night, so I've been thinking about, do I rate it based on the movie it should be and it could be, or do I base it on the movie we actually got? Because if it's what we said, if they cut out all that crap and make it what it is, it's probably an 8. But that's not what we got, so it's probably like a 6. It's watchable.
Okay.
Like, on a Sunday afternoon, if I was bored, I'd probably watch it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, John, at first I was gonna give this movie a 3. At first, but the more I'm thinking about it, the more I actually did kind of like it because it could have been a great movie. I'm gonna give it a 5.
Okay.
Something I would say, yeah, watch it. It's a good watch if you got nothing else to watch this.
Yeah, if for Kevin Costner and William Hurt alone, I'd recommend watching it.
Exactly.
And I'm right in there with you guys. I'm going 5 because I liked half of it. So right down the middle.
Yeah, it's a meh.
Yeah, exactly. And that's exactly what I would think of a 5 out of 10.
Yeah.
All right.
Next. Who picks the next movie?
This guy.
You, okay.
So this time we're going to watch a movie with one of my favorite actresses in it. And this is a horror remake, but it is one of the better ones. And that is Evil Dead 2013.
All right, yeah. I have that.
Okay, good.
I've never seen it, but I have it.
Okay, cool. Me and Dominic saw this back in the theater when it came out.
I don't remember seeing that.
Yeah, we did.
No.
Yeah.
Who's the actress you like?
Jane Levy.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, she's on that show, Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist, and she was in that movie Monster Trucks and Don't Breathe. The redhead and Don't Breathe.
Oh, Don't Breathe is great. I've seen that.
Yeah.
That was a good
Not
movie.
the girl that was prisoner, the one that broke in.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So next week will be the Evil Dead remake. But until then, John, you want to talk a little bit about your podcast?
Yeah, I have a podcast called We Like Wrestling Podcast. 3 or 4 guys, depending on the week, sit around talking about wrestling, past, present, pay-per-views. This month coming up, we have a Black History Month tournament. We're discussing St. Valentine's Day Massacre pay-per-view this week.
Oh.
Because of Valentine's Day, we thought, appropriate. There's some stuff coming up. It's on Spotify, iTunes, Apple, wherever you find podcasts. We have a Facebook page. We have a Twitter. I don't know what the handle is. We have an Instagram. We Like Wrestling Podcast.
All right. And of course, for me, you can subscribe right here on YouTube, youtube.com/westside515. Like the show on Facebook, facebook.com/WestTruePaylist. And of course, you can follow me on the Twitter and the Instagram @WesAList. Until next time, Troop out.